In 1922, a small farm in Bavaria, Germany, became a place of terror when 6 people were killed in a brutal attack, surrounded by strange signs of something eerie, maybe even ghostly. This is the Hinterkaifeck murders, Germany, 1922. A haunted criminal documentary built from real police reports and old records to grab you from the first weird noise and shock you with a dramatic, chilling finish. Imagine a lonely farm called Hinterkaifeck, tucked deep in the woods of Bavaria, about 40 miles from Munich. It's early 1922, and the Gruber family lives here, far from neighbors. There's Andreas Gruber, 63, a tough farmer. His wife, Cecilia, 72. Their daughter, Victoria Gabriel, 35, a widow. Her kids, Cecilia, 7, and Joseph, 2, and a new maid, Maria Baumgartner, 44, who shows up on March 31st. The farm is old, built in 1863, with creaky floors and dark corners. I've studied old documents, like police files and a book by Martin V. Ingram, to tell this true story. Months before the murders, things got weird. The old maid, Crescens Riga, quit because she heard footsteps in the attic at night. She said the house was haunted, but Andreas laughed it off. By March, even he was spooked. He found a strange newspaper from Munich in the yard, but nobody in the family read it. A key to the house went missing. Then, Andreas saw footprints in the snow coming from the forest to the farm's tool shed, where a lock was broken. But there were no footprints leaving. At night, the whole family heard heavy steps in the attic, like someone pacing. Andreas and his sons, Drew and John, checked but found nothing. No dust disturbed, no sign of anyone. The dog, Max, barked at empty air, his fur standing up. Victoria, who sang in the church choir, got nervous. She had a big fight with her parents and ran into the woods one night, found hours later, shaking, saying she felt eyes watching her. Neighbors, like Johann Schlittenbauer, heard Andreas talk about the noises, but nobody took it seriously. The air felt heavy, like a storm was coming, but the sky was clear. Something was wrong at Hinterkaifeck, and the Grubers didn't know it was already too late. March 31st, 1922, starts like any other day, but as night falls, Hinterkaifeck turns into a nightmare. Maria, the new maid, arrives with her sister, who leaves her at the farm, the last person to see the family alive. Between 6:00 and 7:12 p.m., the killings happen. Police reports and autopsies by Dr. Johann Baptist Ommüller tell us how brutal it was. The killer used a mattock, a heavy tool like a pickaxe, made by Andreas himself. It was found later when the farm was torn down in 1923. The murderer tricked 4 family members into the barn, one by one. Andreas, Victoria, old Cecilia, and young Cecilia. Each got hit hard on the head, their skulls smashed. Old Cecilia had marks showing she was choked first. Poor little Cecilia, only 7, didn't die right away. She lay under her family's bodies, pulling out her own hair in pain, alive for hours. The killer covered them with hay, neat and careful. Then, they went inside the house, killing Joseph in his crib and Maria in her bed, her first night on the job. The mattock left blood everywhere, but nothing was stolen. Money, jewelry, all left behind. Here's the creepy part. The killer stayed. For days, they lived in the house, eating bread and meat from the kitchen, feeding the animals, even lighting fires. Smoke came from the chimney, seen by a neighbor, Michael Pluckle, who noticed a bad smell, like something burning. On April 1st, coffee sellers knocked, but no one answered. Little Cecilia missed school and mail piled up. By April 4th, Lawrence Schlittenbauer, a neighbor who once loved Victoria, got worried. With 2 friends, Jacob and Michael, he went to the farm. They found the barn, bodies stacked like trophies, clothes folded nearby. Inside, the house was quiet. Joseph and Maria dead in their beds, the air thick with death. The scene was so awful. It felt like the farm itself was cursed. The police, led by Inspector Georg Gruber from Munich, tried to solve the case, but it was messy. Neighbors walked all over the crime scene, and back then, police didn't have fancy tools like DNA. They even sent the victims' heads to psychics in Munich, hoping for clues, but the heads got lost during World War II. They questioned lots of people. Lorenz Schlittenbauer, because he acted strange and thought Joseph was his son. Karl Bichler, a thief who knew the farm. Even a man claiming to be Victoria's dead husband, back from the war. But nothing proved who did it. The case was closed in 1955, still unsolved. In 2007, police students studied it and named a suspect, but they kept it secret to respect the families. The farm was torn down in 1923 and a small memorial stands there now. But the story doesn't end with the murders. The maids talk of attic footsteps, those weird footprints with no way out, and the killer staying in the house made people think something supernatural was at play. Locals said they saw lights in the woods after, heard whispers near the farm site. A farmer in the 930s saw a man in a torn coat, staring from the trees, then gone. I've read the old files, felt the chill of this mystery. Was it a jealous neighbor, a crazy wanderer, or something evil tied to the land? The Gruber's deaths left a mark, their farm a ghost story that won't die. And now, the end, where the horror grabs you. In 2020, a woman walking near the old Hinterkaifeck site found a doll, old and dirty, with hair like little Cecilia's, buried in the dirt. That night, the nearby village lost power, and a scream came from the woods, sharp and childlike. Locals saw a girl's shadow by the memorial, her hands reaching out, her face blank. The doll was given to police, but it disappeared from evidence, the case as cold as ever. Hinterkaifeck's secrets are buried deep, its spirits angry, waiting for someone to listen. So, what's in your backyard? What's hiding in the dark? Keep your lights on, because this nightmare is real, and it's closer than you think.